I have partnered up with Alois to make some champion-specific guides for the Summoner School website. I tried to put a ton of information in every single one of these guides. Currently, I've made 3 champion guides for the Summoner School website. I have made a Garen guide, a Warwick guide, and a Mordekaiser guide. In these guides, you will find stuff like explaining all the runes, the items, matchups, and so on. And on top of every single video that the guide provides, there is also a matchup spreadsheet for every single one of these guides. If you wish to check out one of these guides, the link to the website will be in the video description. Now, with this introduction out of the way, please enjoy this video. This matchup is all about the parry mind games and how you dodge out her vitals. The later the game goes, the worse the matchup gets for you. She will absolutely demolish you on side lane. In team fights you can sort of beat her because you're generally stronger than her, but you don't want to get to the late game against Fiora. You will never be able to match her on side lane ever once she gets to about 4 items. Even if you are full build and she's at 4 items, she's still going to put up a good fight against you, which sucks. But this is just how Fiora works in general. She can very easily parry your Q and E, so be careful because whenever you try to pull her, she's probably going to turn it into a stun. If you try to use your ultimate on her, she can also parry it. What you can try to do is be unpredictable with your ulti timing. Let's say you use it right at the beginning of a fight. Fiora will most likely not expect you to straight up start with your ultimate, so she might not be ready to parry your ulti, but this won't always work. It's also worth noting that if she actually gets all the vitals from her ultimate and that heal zone comes down, you can press your ultimate and it won't follow into the realm. And the same happens if you are inside the realm. She procs all of them and then the zone comes down, but then you go back on Summoner's Rift, it won't follow. In the early game you need to buy a Bramble Vest. It is a very good component in this matchup. It will allow you to walk up to the wave more and actually fight her. And then your first legendary item will be Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Once you get that Rylai, you will get a good power spike into Fiora. And you will need to try to abuse this power spike as much as you can because again, the later the game goes, the worse the 1v1 gets for you. You can look to set up a freeze on your side of the lane once you get Rylai, and then she might not be able to walk up to farm safely. And that way you might be able to extend your lead and actually make her fall behind, and then you could close out the game earlier.
Has been slain. A summoner has disconnected.
This matchup is all about being patient. She has some absolutely disgusting burst and she has a lot of dashes. Because of these two things, it's kind of difficult to line up a Q or E on her or to try to actually fight her. Even if you're at around 80% health and your W is up, she might be able to straight up 100 to 0 you at level 6 with Ignite, because of course she can. What you want to do is play it super slowly. You're looking to get to your Rylai's Crystal Scepter as fast as possible, but you might need to delay it by purchasing an early Chain Vest or Bramble Vest. Another thing you can do is actually get Exhaust instead of Ignite in this matchup, and that's pretty good. Most of the time Riven will end up rushing Eclipse. So because of that, you're looking for the combo of Rylai's Crystal Scepter plus Serpent's Fang. Once you get those two items, you have very good stick power due to Rylai because you also run approach velocity, and you can cut out her E shield and Eclipse shield. But if you see that she rushes an item like Sundered Sky, maybe Axiom Arc, or some other item that isn't Eclipse, then you can actually skip the Serpents. In this situation, Riven ended up rushing a Hex Drinker. Unfortunately, Serpent's Fang does not reduce purely magic damage shields. And because Hex Drinker only provides a magic damage shield, Serpent's Fang does not reduce it. Same goes for the upgrade, which would be the Maw of Mortius. If you see that she does not rush that Eclipse, you can do Rylai's Crystal Scepter into Experimental Hexblade and you sit there and auto-attack her down. Riven typically buys a lot of ability haste, so because of that, if you Q, she is always going to be able to E your Q. You might be able to find an opening where you can pull her, but you need to make sure that all of her dashes are down, and that's kind of impossible to do. The only way you can reliably do it is by sitting there in melee range and auto-attacking her down, which will only really happen once you get that Experimental Hexblade. With all of this being said though, I must say it again that she has some absolutely disgusting burst in the early game. And even later on, she can still deal a lot of damage to you.
An enemy has been slain.
Whenever Ambessa uses a spell, she can dash afterwards, so you can imagine that it's pretty unfun to lane her as Mordekaiser. It will be very difficult to line up your Q and especially your E. On top of that, if she times her ultimate properly, it will cancel yours. So if the Ambessa knows about this interaction, you might need to wait for the Ambessa to ult first and then you can ulti her. Most Ambessas don't know about it though, so the chances of that happening are slim, but it's good to keep in mind. What you're looking to do in this lane is to try to survive until you get your Rylai's Crystal Scepter at the very least. And what I like to do is rush a Bramble Vest in this lane. And this is because the armor, reflect damage, and grievous wounds are all great here. Starting from level 6, Ambessa will heal whenever she deals damage to anything. So because of this, if she attacks you, that healing will be reduced because of the grievous wounds. After you get Bramble Vest, you can go into your Rylai's Crystal Scepter. If you are greedy, you are going to take the AP from Rylai's first, so the Blasting One and Anthem and Giant's Belt last. The moment you get your Rylai's Crystal Scepter, you can try to freeze on your side of the lane and chase her down. Despite the fact that she has so many dashes, because every time she uses a spell she can dash, you can still chase her down. All you need to do is to make sure that the wave is frozen on your side of the lane so you can chase her down before she gets to her tower. And I've done this test multiple times. You can chase Ambessa down and actually kill her. Once you get that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, the next item will be Serpent's Fang, and that's because she has her W shield and she will most likely rush Eclipse. So because of that, Serpent's Fang allows you to 1v1 her really easily when you get it. And then after Serpent's Fang, you can get Experimental Hexblade and literally auto attack her down later on. You just kinda sit there and auto attack her down and force her to use her spells to dash away. And once you force out those spells, then you can line up a Q or E. There's also a chance Ambessa goes for Serpent's Fang herself, which can give her even more dueling power, so watch out for that. Now all I need to do is to pull her back when my passive is up, and she's going to die basically every single time because I can just chase her down from this position.
Shut down. Double kill. An enemy has been slain.
Mine is a kingdom of sacrifice and blood. Your strength is mine!
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.